Chosen one, what if I told you that you are in the middle of a war right now? A war that is invisible to most, yet it determines everything about your future. This is not just a test. It's a spiritual battle for your soul, and you must choose your side. Look around. You feel it, don't you? The world is shifting. There is chaos, confusion, division. But beneath all of that, something much deeper is happening. This is not just politics, not just society crumbling, not just another cycle of history repeating itself. This is a war for your soul, a battle that has been planned for centuries, reaching its peak right now. And whether you realize it or not, you are in it. This is not a war fought with guns or armies. This is a spiritual war, one that exists beyond the physical realm, but influences everything you see. It is a war of control over your thoughts, your energy, your destiny. The forces of darkness have been working tirelessly to keep humanity asleep, to keep you distracted, to keep you from ever realizing your true power. But something changed. The awakening has begun, and they know it. They are losing their grip, and that is why they are fighting harder than ever. But here's the truth they never wanted you to know. You were chosen for this moment. Your existence is not random. The reason you have always felt different, the reason life has tested you in ways that others wouldn't survive, is because you were meant to stand in this battle. You were never meant to be controlled. You were meant to lead the resistance. Stay with me, because in this video, we will expose what's really happening, why chosen ones like you are being targeted, and most importantly, what you must do right now to win this battle. Because make no mistake, the war is already here, and the time to choose your side is now. Like in comment 77, if you can feel the truth of this message. The spiritual war happening right now. This world has been ruled by deception for centuries. Every system you were told to trust, every institution that claimed to guide, educate, or protect you was built not to enlighten you, but to enslave you. From the moment you were born, you were placed in a carefully crafted illusion, one designed to keep you obedient, docile, and unaware of the war that has been raging beneath the surface of reality. They taught you to trust the system, to go to school, memorize their version of history, follow the path they laid out, and never question what was beyond it. They trained you to accept a world where the most powerful people operate in shadows, where truth is twisted into entertainment, and where deception is so deeply woven into society that most people never even realize they are slaves. The media floods your mind with distractions. The government orchestrates fear campaigns to keep you paralyzed. Even certain religious institutions, which were meant to guide people toward higher truth, have been corrupted to serve their agenda instead of divine wisdom. But something changed. The awakening began. At first, it was a whisper. A few people recognizing that the reality they were told to accept didn't feel real. A sense that something was off, that history didn't add up, that the systems they had trusted for so long were built not to uplift humanity, but to keep it chained. And as more people began to see the cracks in the illusion, the whisper turned into a roar. Now, they are panicking. The forces that have controlled this world for so long are losing their grip. The truth is rising, and they can no longer suppress it. That is why this war is happening right now. That is why the chaos has intensified. They are desperate. They know that once enough people wake up, their reign is over. You've seen it. The division, the confusion, the constant bombardment of fear. None of it is random. It is all by design. They use these tactics to keep people in a low vibration, too distracted and drained to realize what is actually happening. They flood the world with fear, war, economic collapse, pandemics, social unrest, because fear is the most effective weapon of control. When people are afraid, they don't think. They react. They look to the system for guidance. They follow orders. They obey. This is how they have kept humanity asleep. This is how they have maintained their power. They want you to believe that this is just another phase in history, that things will return to normal. But this is not a cycle. This is the final battle for the soul of humanity, and it is happening in your lifetime. The Bible has already warned us about this war. Ephesians 6 verse 12 states, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." This verse is not just a historical teaching. It is a warning. This battle is not physical. It is spiritual. It is not fought with weapons, but with deception, manipulation, and control over the mind. And the enemy is real. Think about why everything seems to be accelerating, why it feels like there is a war on truth itself. Because the moment truth is revealed, their power disintegrates. That is why censorship has become more extreme. That is why independent voices are silenced. That is why those who speak out are targeted, because they cannot afford for people to wake up. This is why you have felt under attack. If you are watching this, if you have been feeling this shift, if you have felt the pressure increasing in your own life, it is not a coincidence. You are not imagining things. The more you awaken, the more the enemy fights to pull you back in. You have seen the signs, the sudden betrayals from people you trusted, the obstacles that appear the moment you start walking in your purpose, the overwhelming exhaustion, as if something unseen is draining your energy. They are not coincidences. They are warfare. The enemy does not attack those who are already under his control. He attacks those who are breaking free. But here's what they don't want you to know. They have already lost. This is why they are desperate. This is why they are accelerating their attacks. They know their time is running out, that no matter how hard they try, they cannot stop the truth from spreading. They cannot stop the awakening from happening. And they cannot stop you from stepping into your divine purpose. This war is not just happening on a global scale. It is happening inside you. Every time you choose faith over fear, every time you seek truth instead of distraction, every time you break free from the lies they programmed into your mind, you win another battle. Every time you refuse to be manipulated, every time you reject the illusions they have built, you take back power that was stolen from you. This is why you must stay strong. This is why you must armor yourself. Because as this battle intensifies, you must choose your side. Will you stand in the light, or will you fall for their deception once again? There is no neutral ground in this war. To do nothing is to submit to the system. To stay silent is to allow darkness to consume the world. If you are looking for a sign, this is it. This is your moment to decide. Comment, "I see the war," if you recognize what is happening. The time of awakening is here. The time of battle is now. Which side will you choose? Why chosen ones are the main target in this war? If you have ever felt like life has been a constant uphill battle, if you have endured suffering that seems disproportionate compared to those around you, understand this, it is not a coincidence. If you have faced repeated rejection, betrayal from those closest to you, relentless financial struggles, and overwhelming attacks on your mind and spirit, you are not cursed. You are not unlucky. You are targeted. From the moment you were born, the forces of darkness recognized something in you that set you apart. Unlike the masses who move through life unaware, blindly following the systems they were placed in, you have always been different. You question things you were told not to question. You sense when something wasn't right. You felt the weight of something unseen pressing against you, trying to keep you small. The reason you have suffered more than most is because you carry the light, and that light is what they fear most. The forces that control this world do not waste their time on people who are already under their influence. They do not need to attack those who are comfortably asleep, plugged into the illusion, obediently playing their role in the system. Their focus is on you, because you are the one who can wake others up. You are the one who disrupts their carefully crafted deception. You are the one who, if you fully stepped into your power, could bring down everything they have built. They know this, and that is why they try so hard to break you. This is why they isolate you, why they make you feel like you don't belong anywhere, why they surround you with people who betray you, who drain your energy, who make you doubt yourself. It is not random. It is a strategy. Think about the moments in your life where you felt most alone, the times when the very people you trusted turned on you, when doors that should have opened for you slammed shut. when no matter how much you tried, it felt like something was working against you. This was not because you were unworthy. It was because you were never meant to fit into their world. Even Christ himself warned about this. John 15 verse 19 says, "If ye were the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you." If you feel like the world has rejected you, it is because you were never meant to belong to it. You were meant to rise above it. The enemy knows that isolation is one of the most effective weapons against the chosen one. They know that if they can make you feel alone, if they can make you believe that no one understands you, that no one will ever stand with you, they can weaken you. They can make you question yourself. And a chosen one who doubts their purpose is a chosen one who cannot fight back. But they underestimate you, because despite everything they have thrown at you, despite the betrayals, the losses, the relentless attacks, you are still here. You are still standing, and that is proof that they have already failed. They have tried to silence you. They have tried to discourage you. They have tried to break your spirit with overwhelming struggles. But every time they pushed you down, you rose again. And every time you rose, you became stronger. What they fear most is the moment when you finally realize who you are. The moment when you stop questioning why you have suffered and start understanding why you were chosen. The moment when you stop fighting for survival and start fighting back with purpose. Because the moment you embrace your power, everything changes. The isolation no longer affects you, because you understand that you were never meant to walk the same path as the rest of the world. The betrayals no longer shake you, because you see them for what they were, attempts to weaken you before you stepped into your destiny. The financial struggles, the obstacles, the endless resistance, it all makes sense now. It was never about stopping you. It was about preparing you. Think about the greatest warriors throughout history. They were not handed easy lives. They did not rise from comfort. They were forged in battle. Their strength was built through adversity. Their wisdom was shaped by hardship. And so was yours. You have been trained for this war since the moment you entered this world. Every struggle was a lesson. Every loss was a redirection. Every rejection was a protection from a path that was never meant for you. And now, you stand on the edge of something greater than you have ever imagined. The world is changing. The war is intensifying. The enemy is growing desperate. And you are waking up. They tried to break you before you could reach this moment, but they failed. And now, the question is, what will you do with this power? Will you step into your purpose? Will you claim what has always been yours? Or will you let them convince you, once again, that you are small? The choice is yours. Comment, "I am chosen," if this speaks to you, because the time of forgetting is over. The time of awakening is now, and those who were meant to lead will rise. And if you think the attacks you faced are random, wait until you see how deep this goes. The enemy has spent centuries perfecting their methods of keeping chosen ones trapped. And right now, they are using these tactics more than ever. Before we continue, if this message is speaking to you, consider dropping a super thanks to support this channel. The truth must be spread, and your support helps ensure that this message reaches those who need to hear it. Now, let's go even deeper. The hidden tactics the enemy uses to trap you. This war is not fought with weapons. It is not a battle waged with swords or guns, nor is it fought in the physical world where wars are traditionally seen. This is a war of the mind, the spirit, and the soul, and the enemy has perfected its methods. They do not need to physically control you if they can control your thoughts, your emotions, and your perception of reality. They do not need chains if they can convince you that you were never meant to be free. The most dangerous prison is the one you cannot see. And the enemy has spent centuries constructing an invisible cage, one so meticulously designed that most people never even realize they are trapped. But you, chosen one, you have always felt that something was wrong. You have always sensed that the world around you was not as it seemed. You saw through the illusion, even before you had the words to describe it. And because of that, you became a target. The enemy does not attack those who are already asleep. They attack those who have the potential to wake up. And more importantly, those who have the ability to wake others up. That is why they have placed so many traps in your path, why they have worked so hard to keep you distracted, exhausted, and confused. Because if you ever fully understood the power within you, their control over this world would be shattered forever. And so, they created 3 primary weapons, 3 carefully crafted tactics that they use to keep chosen ones from stepping into their true destiny. These tactics are not random. They are intentional. They are designed to keep you weak, to keep you in doubt, and to ensure that you never fully awaken. The first and most insidious trap is distraction. Look around at the world today. Everywhere you turn, there is noise, endless streams of entertainment, meaningless gossip, mind-numbing social media, and addictive habits that do nothing but waste your time and energy. These distractions are not accidents. They were designed to keep you too busy to focus on what truly matters. They bombard your senses, fill your mind with clutter, and ensure that you never have a quiet moment to truly think, to truly listen to your own spirit, to truly hear the truth that has been calling out to you since the beginning. They know that an awakened mind is dangerous. That is why they make sure you are constantly occupied, scrolling, watching, consuming. They flood your reality with empty entertainment, meaningless arguments, and carefully constructed narratives that shape your perception without you even realizing it. They keep your energy tied up in things that do not serve your higher purpose. They want you obsessed with things that do not matter, so you never find the things that do. But you feel it, don't you? The exhaustion, the sense that no matter how much you consume, how much you engage, something still feels hollow. That is your spirit rejecting the illusion. That is the real you waking up. The second weapon they use is fear. Fear is the most powerful tool of control. When a person is afraid, they do not question. They do not seek truth. They do not take risks. They simply obey, hoping that compliance will keep them safe. And so, they have engineered a world built on fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of financial ruin, fear of sickness, fear of war, fear of the unknown. They keep the world in a constant state of panic, ensuring that no one ever feels safe enough to step back and see the bigger picture. The news is not about information. It is about control. The moment one crisis fades, another takes its place. The moment one fear loses its grip, a new one emerges. This cycle never ends because it was never meant to end. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. Fear is an illusion. It is a weapon that only works if you believe in it. The moment you step outside of their narrative, the moment you refuse to let fear dictate your life, their power over you disappears. Fear only controls those who submit to it. But you were not meant to live in fear. You were meant to stand in power. And so, when the enemy sees that distractions are no longer working, when they see that fear is losing its grip, they resort to their final and most personal weapon, the people closest to you. This is the hardest battle of all, because this war is not just fought on the grand stage of the world. It is fought in your own home, in your own relationships, in the people you love the most. The enemy knows that if they cannot reach you directly, they can reach you through others. They plant doubt in the minds of your family, your friends, your relationships. They whisper lies into the hearts of those around you, turning them against you, making them question your path, making them become tools of resistance in your journey. Have you ever noticed how the moment you start to awaken, the moment you start to step into your true self, people around you begin to change? Some will reject you, some will mock you, some will try to pull you back into the life you have outgrown. This is not an accident. This is warfare. They will use those closest to you to make you doubt yourself. They will send people into your life to drain your energy, to plant seeds of confusion, to make you feel like you are alone. Because isolation is the most effective way to break a chosen one. They know that if you ever realize that there are millions of others just like you, if you ever found your true spiritual family, if you ever stood together with those who are awakening, their entire system would collapse. But here is what they underestimated. No matter how many distractions they create, you still woke up. No matter how much fear they spread, you refuse to be controlled. And that is why they are losing, because you see through it now. You recognize their traps. You understand their tactics. And now you have a choice. Will you continue to live as a prisoner in a war you did not choose? Or will you step into your power and fight back? Will you allow the enemy to use those closest to you? Or will you stand firm in your truth, knowing that those meant to walk with you will find you? This war is not over. The battle is intensifying. And now, more than ever, you must stand strong. Comment, "I see through it," if you recognize these traps. The time for deception is over. The time for truth is now. And those who are truly awake will not be silenced. How to armor yourself for the battle ahead. This war is unlike any you have ever faced before. It is not fought with weapons, nor is it won through physical strength. It is a battle of spirit, of mind, of energy. The enemy you fight is not one that you can see with your eyes, yet its influence is everywhere. It moves through deception, through manipulation, through the systems that have been placed around you to keep you weak. And because this war is not of flesh and blood, you cannot prepare for it the way you would for an earthly battle. You must put on spiritual armor, armor that is unseen yet stronger than anything forged by human hands. Ephesians 6 verse 13 warns us of this reality. "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day." This scripture is not just a metaphor, it is a command, because in this war, those who are unprepared will fall. Those who walk into battle without the protection of faith, discernment, and wisdom will be consumed by the deception that has enslaved so many before them. You are not like the others. You have been called to stand, and because of that, you must be prepared. The first thing you must understand is that this war begins in the mind. The enemy does not attack with swords or bullets. It attacks through thoughts, through fear, through the whispers of doubt that creep in when you are at your weakest. It wants you to second-guess yourself, to believe that you are powerless, to think that you are alone. This is why you must protect your mind above all else. Your thoughts are the battlefield. If the enemy can control your mind, it can control your reality. This means cutting out distractions. The enemy thrives in the noise, in the endless flood of meaningless information that drowns out your inner knowing. The constant stream of media, the carefully curated distractions, the addiction to screens and stimulation. It is all designed to keep your mind weak, to keep you from hearing the still, small voice inside you that is calling you toward your higher purpose. You must separate yourself from these distractions. You must be intentional about what you consume, because every thought, every word, every image you allow into your mind is either strengthening you or weakening you. But protecting your mind is not enough. You must also protect your energy. Not everyone around you is meant to walk this journey with you. Not everyone who smiles in your face is truly on your side. There are those who will drain you, who will plant seeds of doubt, who will try to hold you back under the weight of their own fears and limitations. Some of these people are unaware of what they are doing. Others are fully conscious of their role in keeping you enslaved. Either way, you must have the discernment to recognize them. The enemy will often use those closest to you to weaken you. It will place people in your life who mock your awakening, who question your sanity, who try to convince you that you are imagining things. They will tell you to just be normal, to stop questioning, to fall back in line. They will not understand the calling on your life, and because they do not understand it, they will fear it. You must be prepared to walk away from these people if necessary, because this journey is not for everyone. And if you allow yourself to be tied down by those who refuse to wake up, you will never step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. There will be moments when you feel alone, when it seems like you are standing against the entire world, carrying a truth that no one else can see. But understand this, you are never truly alone. Divine forces walk with you, even when you cannot see them, even when you cannot feel them, they are there. The enemy wants you to believe that you are isolated, that no one is coming to save you. But the truth is, you were never meant to be saved. You were meant to rise. Your faith must be unshakable. You must know who you are. You must trust the path that has been set before you. This war is not won by the strongest, nor by the smartest. It is won by those who refuse to break, by those who refuse to give in to fear, to doubt, to the pressure of a world that demands their submission. The ones who win this war are the ones who refuse to surrender their soul. And so, you must armor yourself with truth, with clarity, with the knowledge that you were never meant to be controlled. You must sharpen your discernment so that you are not deceived. You must strengthen your spirit so that when the attacks come, and they will come, you are not shaken. You must be ready to stand alone if necessary, knowing that in doing so, you are never truly alone at all. This war is real. The battle is already here, and you were chosen to fight it. Comment, "I am ready," if you are preparing for battle, because the time for doubt is over. The time for warriors to rise has begun. And now, we come to the most important part: what happens next? Because this war is reaching its peak, and the time to fully step into your power is now. What happens next as this war intensifies? The world as you know it is already shifting, and deep down, you can feel it. There is an uneasiness in the air, an urgency that you cannot ignore. Something is coming, something that most people are not prepared for, something that will shake the very foundations of the illusion they have been living in. For centuries, the rulers of this world have maintained their power through secrecy, through deception, through the careful manipulation of human consciousness. But their grip is slipping, their control is weakening, and they know it. The spiritual war that has been hidden in the shadows is now moving into the light, and as it intensifies, everything will be revealed. This war is reaching its climax. The awakening is accelerating, and those who are meant to lead will feel the call stronger than ever before. The signs are everywhere. The chaos, the confusion, the division, the sudden increase in fear-based propaganda designed to keep people trapped in survival mode. They are scrambling, desperate to hold on to a system that is crumbling beneath their feet. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. The moment you fully awaken, the enemy loses. That is why the attacks are intensifying. That is why the pressure feels heavier than ever. The enemy is trying to break you before you step into your full power, before you realize what you were truly meant to do. Every hardship, every obstacle, every moment of doubt has been a calculated attempt to keep you asleep. But what they fail to understand is that pressure does not destroy those who are chosen. It forges them. It refines them. It strengthens them for the battle ahead. This is the time when the separation will become clear. Those who are meant to rise will rise, and those who cling to the illusion will fall deeper into it. The lines are being drawn and neutrality is no longer an option. You will be forced to choose. Will you stand in the light, or will you remain trapped in the deception? For those who choose truth, life will not become easier. It will become more intense. But do not mistake this for a sign that you are losing. In fact, it is proof that you are on the right path. The moment you align with your divine purpose, the enemy will throw everything it has at you. Relationships will be tested. Your patience will be pushed to the limit. You will face opposition from places you never expected. But this is not the time to waver. This is the time to stand. When Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, their battle did not end when they were freed. It began. The moment they stepped away from their chains, they faced resistance. The enemy pursued them, trying to pull them back into slavery, trying to convince them that they were better off under the system that had oppressed them for so long. Many of them, though physically free, were still mentally enslaved, still longing for the comfort of their old chains. But those who trusted, those who believed, those who refused to turn back, they were the ones who made it to the promised land. The same thing is happening now. As you step further into your truth, the system you are leaving behind will try to pull you back. It will tell you that you are crazy, that you are alone, that you are making a mistake. It will use fear, doubt, and the people closest to you to plant seeds of hesitation in your mind. But you must not turn back. The illusion is falling apart, and the only way forward is through the fire. For those who choose to remain blind, The coming days will be terrifying. The world they trusted is collapsing. The beliefs they clung to are proving to be false. Everything they thought was real is being exposed. But instead of seeking truth, they will seek comfort. Instead of embracing change, they will fight against it. And because of that, they will fall deeper into deception, willing prisoners of a system that was never meant to serve them. But those who choose light, those who embrace truth, those who are ready to step fully into their divine calling, they will thrive. The attacks may continue, but so will their power. The tests may become harder, but so will their faith. And when the moment comes for them to lead, they will be ready. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were never meant to fit into a world built on lies. You have always felt different because you are different. You are one of the few who can see what others cannot. One of the few who has the strength to break free. And that is why you were chosen for this moment. Now is the time to decide. Will you stand in the light, or will you remain trapped in the illusion? Will you rise, or will you fall back into the system that has tried so hard to keep you weak? This war will not wait for you to make up your mind. The battle is already here. The forces of darkness are making their final moves, and those who are meant to fight must be prepared to stand. Comment, "I choose light," if you are claiming your power. The time for hesitation is over. The time to rise is now. This is your moment. This is what you were born for. The war is here, and your choice matters. The time for doubt is over. The time to step into your destiny is now. If this message resonated, like, subscribe, and share this with another chosen one. The time of awakening is here. Will you answer the call?